and welcome everyone to Hesston High School, The Shed. Rusty with you here on the Swathers Sports Network. I'm joined by Swathers Sports alum Cole Dutchendorf. Cole, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. It's
great.
It's weird to be back here, but it's definitely good to be back here.
It feels good, though,
yeah,
right?
It's because last year I was there up
right?
top, and now I'm back where it all started.
Exactly,
so it's good to be back.
So you and Lucas Rock, you guys had your own name, right? You called it the what? What'd you call it?
Lukey and Dookie was
so,
our moniker.
All right. So tonight, since it's a kind of one-time thing, I'm thinking we probably need a name too.
I'll work on it.
Well, I was going to think the RC Cola Show.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay, I'm
okay with that.
All right, cool. That's what we're going to do tonight. Swathers and the Vikings set to do battle here from the Shed. We have coined that, or I believe you guys coined that moniker. We're running with it. We've got the Shed. We've got the outbuilding. It's a full night of basketball here. Swathers coming tonight. They are 3-1. Smoky Valley also 3-. They're 2-1. Man, you talk about this could be a good ball game.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit pregame. I think these two teams are going to match up pretty nice. We saw with the common opponent was Southeast of Saline. Both teams lost. Smoky Valley kept it a little closer. I believe it was just a 2-point game that they lost. But both these two teams can compete. And Hesston's been playing a little bit better recently. Granted, not against maybe the strongest opponents, but Garden Plain, that's a quality win.
Right.
That's a powerhouse in 2A. So I'll be really interested to see how this game goes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize Garden Plain was quite as they were top 5 in 2A at the time. Hesston beats Garden Plain 47-35.
Yeah, pretty handily.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, go and recapping the season for Smoky Valley. They opened the season with a 73-39 romp of Abilene. Lost to Southeast, like you said, by 2, 48-46, and then trounced Concordia 47-27. Swathers lost in the power outage game, which was one of the weirdest games I've ever been a part of or even been in attendance, the power outage. Lost in that game 49-36. And you never know what could happen. You know, you're talking about a game where all of a sudden you have to pick up, you have a delay, you're moving venues to Salina. What a strange evening.
No, I wasn't at the game, but I was following along on Twitter, and I saw that the power was out at Southeast of Saline. I was like, well, what the heck are they going to do?
Yeah.
And then, because they had already started the girls' game, right?
Right, there were 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, so just weird circumstances. So you never know how that plays into the final outcome of the game. You don't presume it has an effect, but changing those locations, getting out of the rhythm, that can definitely change the complexion of a game.
Very much so. A darkened gym, emergency lighting, and a very zealous pep band made for an interesting evening until they change things. And like you said, you never know. So that was the first loss of the season for the Swathers, but they have been on a tear lately, dismantling Rose Hill 55-16. Beating Garden Plain by 12, which they were a top 5 team in 2A, and then trouncing Nickerson 58-39. Kendall Brugan, she has been on a tear as of late. She has 38 points in the last 2 games, including 17 and 21 on that Thursday-Friday.
And she kind of had her coming out party late last year. She didn't do a ton in the beginning of the year. That's because I don't really think we expected her to, and then started getting going as the season was going along, and was really one of our best players.
Right.
So the fact that she's been able to keep that momentum rolling to this year and perform as well as she's been performing, that goes a long way for a sophomore to be doing that for your team.
It does, and like a sophomore. You've got a youth movement in a sophomore. Looking at it here, you've got 4 seniors, 2 sophomores, or 3 seniors and 2 sophomores for the Swathers. The Vikings, they're a little bit more upper class based with a senior, 3 juniors, but a sophomore. That youth movement in basketball is so big because you can do so much, and you watch players evolve. They're already at high levels of freshmen. They just get better. And as a coach, you've got to love that.
You look at last year's class with Corinne Yoder, Katie Keeker. They were always main focal points of the team throughout their freshman, sophomore years. So having players that can grow up in your system and get used to things earlier is going to help them mature farther down the road. And we're seeing Brugan mature already at a very young age.
You are absolutely right. What can you say? We're also going to be here for the guys' game. That's going to be a good one, too. Hesston 3-1. They've been on a tear after their season opening loss. Smoky Valley, a little bit down, but they're starting to figure things out, I think. They lost their last one by about 6 or 7. That's a good mark against a Concordia team. You're starting to grow. You're starting to put things together. So both teams in action tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And Next week, I think we're gonna step away. The RC Cola Hour is gonna bring it back to the whole Roth family as they're gonna be up here.
That's so cool to have all three. Well, not all three, but there's 4 of them. But have the 3 of them in the booth. That'll be a lot of fun.
Cole, we talked a little bit about this, but you're a Swather Sports alum. Fill us in on what you've been doing.
So last year at Hutchinson Community College, did a lot of work with Ad Astra Radio. That was a ton of fun. I ran ragged during postseason, which I was glad to. I was glad to be trucking everywhere and call games. That was a ton of fun. Did a lot of sub-state, did a lot of state, and those were some great experiences.
Yes.
Did a triple header for baseball by myself. That was probably the toughest day I've had of broadcasting.
Oh my goodness! I did not know you did a
That was
triple
rough, but it was a lot of fun. Trying to get back with them and do some stuff this winter break. If we can. Anyways, now at K-State, I've been doing stuff with K-Man up there, doing predominantly the area games of the week for football, which obviously football's over, but that was a lot of fun with Troy Coverdale. That was a good experience. And then just recently I did 1 basketball game last week, and then I've been on the student radio as well. I did a couple of football games, one with Texas Tech as color, and then one with Oklahoma State with play-by-play. And then a couple weeks ago I did K-State girls when they took down Iowa, who was ranked number 4 at the time, and then I did the guys game against UMKC.
Awesome. What a journey you have. Man, this is really cool to hear. Seeing you coming from the Swather Sports Network to all over in Kansas and traveling about. How cool.
No, and Swather Sports Network really propelled that. I mean, I might have been able to get into something with Ad Astra Radio, but having the experience here and having the people that we were working with Miss Guest and with all of our crew, I mean, I had a ton of fun and I learned a ton, most importantly. So taking that experience to Ad Astra and then taking that experience then to K-Man and to the students radio now at K-State, it's really been invaluable, the lessons and things that I learned here at Swather Sports Network.
Very, very cool. All right, we're going to take a little break. Be back with tip-off of the girls' game after this here on the Swather Sports Network.
Tradition.
Katie, how long is that video?
Passed down from generation to generation to generation. Family. Brought together by every sprint, every drill, and every practice. Team. Hundreds of hours spent in the gym. Early mornings in the summer. Late nights in the winter. Falling short year after year in the sub-state championship. Seasons left unfinished.
Try me, boy. I be with my squad. Catching bodies, boy. Yo, we too deep, talking crazy.
to the shed, the RC Cola Hour for basketball tonight. Rusty Witcher alongside Cole Dutchendorf. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Starting lineups, Cole, let's take a quick look. I got that ready to go. For Smoky Valley, number 0, a 5'7" senior in Bree Peters. Number 4, a 5'7" junior in
5'10" sophomore, Kendall Brugan. Starting for Smoky Valley, number 4, 5'7" junior, Eagle Hall.
For the Swathers, number 3, a 5'10" sophomore in Kendall Brugan.
Starting for Smoky Valley, number 11, 5'6" junior, Clara McElroy.
Before the game, key to stop is to stop Hazelwood.
Proctor. Starting for Smoky Valley, number 23, 5'7" junior, Adrian Hazelwood.
If the Swathers can slow her down, which is easier said than done.
Starting for Smoky Valley, number 32, 6-foot sophomore, Kat Blanchett. And starting.
They've got to defend without fouling. Be ready to rebound. Trying to see if the Vikings can, do what they need to do to hold the Swathers in check. Gonna be a good matchup. The first matchup in CKL League tonight, so we're off and running.
And CKL boys and girls is a little bit more open this year probably than it was last year. Last year, no questions, it was going to be Nickerson really running the league.
Right.
And now this year, it's pretty much anyone's league. And same for the boys. Last year it was Hillsborough, Hesston, and now with the big group of seniors leaving, and we'll talk about that later with the boys game, but it's really, there's your couple teams. Hillsborough, Hesston's still up there, but Pratt.
Controlled by Smoky Valley. Off we go, and Hazelwood has it out in front and away. Smoky Valley goes working around the perimeter. Entry pass down low. Hazelwood, nice little ball fake. Her shot up and in, and that's a
That's by Adrian Hazelwood.
Block. Brugan was there too late, and that's going to be 2 points every time.
Here come the Swathers, their first possession. Brugan here on the near side. She'll work it back on top. There's a little spin move from the sophomore, dumping it down. Carly Bartell, fortunate to get it back on top. Anna Humphreys. Anna with a little drive, the step through, drives the basket.
First personal on Kat Blanchett. The basket by Ann Humphreys is good. She'll shoot one shot.
Right, so Anna at the free throw. Her free throw, nothing but the bottom of the net. Vikings as they're working from left to right from our vantage point. Hazelwood, little stutter step on the far side. She'll drive baseline, kicks it all the way across, and there's a first turnover of the game whistled on the far side as Smoky Valley guilty of the travel.
And one key I think also that they accomplished on that last offensive possession for the Swathers is trying to get Blanchett in a little bit of foul trouble. She has that height advantage over a lot of the Swathers. She's 6 feet tall, so without Katie Keeker, obviously losing her last year, it's important to try to eliminate that post presence if you can.
Brugan setting up the offense straight away, drifting on the right side. Trying to set this offense up one more time. Abby Proctor, the sophomore, hands off. The three. By Peters, and then deflecting off of the Swathers is staying with Smoky Valley. And that goes right to the key of the game, rebounding. They were all over that shot, and the Vikings trying to take the lead on this possession as Hazelwood works it, saw the seam, and an offensive foul called.
Yeah, just an illegal screen that they're going to get there on Malm. Maybe just a bit of a moving screen, I guess.
Yeah, a definite point of interest, a point of emphasis. Tinley Scott checks in the game for Smoky Valley. So Swathers with the 1 point advantage with 6.5 to play here in our opening quarter. Bergen here on the near side on top. Lettuce. Jillian Lance looking down low and back off. Anna Humphreys drives in, nobody home, kicks it out. The 15-footer from Bruggen off the heel. Rebound tipped around and reeled in by Peters. Hazelwood on the far side, Smoky Valley working it down the floor. Nice little step through for Hazelwood, and that is...
She's just a very smart player. That's a great presence of mind to use her pivot foot, hop step into the lane, and get that layup to go.
Proctor rolls the other way, has it stripped away, taken in by Blanchett. Blanchett comes up with a steal. Head to Hazelwood. Vikings with the 1-point lead and the rock. Hazelwood far side. She'll pull the trigger from deep, and that is up. It's a long two. Hazelwood makes her third bucket of the first quarter, and it's all Adrian Hazelwood with the Vikings now leading the Swathers 6-3. Proctor, give and go.
That's my Martel.
Pick and roll, pick and pop, great little give and go.
That was a nice find down low. It's not an easy pass to make, but threading the needle and getting that easy layup to go was Bartel.
Peters with it out in front. She'll give it back to Hazelwood. Hazelwood gives it on top. Smoky Valley trying to driving in. And we got a foul whistled on. That goes against Kendall. Kendall picks up her first personal. First team foul puts McElroy at the free throw line to shoot two. The free throw good by Clara McElroy. Her first point of the contest. She's a 5'6" junior. Casey Mason checking in the lineup. The second free throw from McElroy. Up and off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Mason. Under 5 to go. Swathers trail by a bucket. Anna Humphreys out on top. Abby Proctor. They wanted to play catch. They work it on top, Casey Mason. Humphreys, a nice little ball fake, races in. Her shot is swatted out of there by Blanchett. Here comes Scott the other way for Smoky Valley. Entry pass down low is taken away by the Swathers. As Anna Humphreys trying to set this up on the far side. They give it on top, Jillian Lance. Kiara Funk checked in the lineup, as there's that loudness again. We're getting a little bit, you're hearing that too? Yeah, we'll work on that. Anna dials up a three, her three will not drop. And the rebound tracked down by Smoky Valley.
That was a good job from McElroy to have that long rebound there on a long missed shot from Humphreys.
The jumper will not drop. A stick back up by Blanchett won't go. Tipped around, and the Smoky Valley Vikings retrieve or hang in. 3:49 to go. The Vikings on the far side now turnover as the Swathers come away with it. Ahead to Abby Proctor, catching, shooting, scoring off the glass. Abby Proctor down low on the feed from Anna Humphreys.
That's a nice shot from Humphreys to keep her eyes up down the floor and find the streaking Proctor. That's just an easy layup on the fast break.
There's a foul, a blocking foul. Oh no, it's another illegal screen whistle, Cole. We've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, it's not often you see two of those in the same game, let alone the first 5 minutes of action.
Blanchett picked up her second personal foul. I think, okay. Tied up at 7, 3 to go. Kendall drives in, scoop shot with the right hand up and in, and Bruggen has her first bucket of the contest.
And we talked about having sophomores that can contribute. Abby Proctor as well. I mean, we've seen sophomores back-to-back possessions with buckets. Bruggen with a nice layup on that last possession.
Here's a rebound, trying to go coast to coast for Kendall. She'll do it, and she in and out. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It goes off of Smoky Valley and stays with the Swathers. I think we've got some Emporia State coaches in the crowd in the front row checking things out. They're looking at a couple people.
I honestly think that the referee on the far side made the incorrect call, overruling the one on the baseline. I thought it looked out on Smoky.
Okay. But that's why they're paid the big bucks and we're just up here.
Yep.
9-7 our score. Hazelwood with it on the far side. That ball deflecting. Sydney Kaiser the other way. Sydney back on top, Kendall. Anna Humphreys on the far side. They run that little give and go. That one no good. The loose ball on the floor. Sydney has it, and we're going to have a tie-up, and possession arrow will stay with the Swathers.
And Bartel's able to pick that ball up off the floor. It's probably an easy layup. She was right underneath the bucket, but maybe just tried to, it's kind of like in football when you try to start running with it before you ever catch it. She was almost like trying to go up with it before she ever had her hands on the ball.
Lob pass on the baseline, ran perfectly. Sydney Kaiser's shot will not go. She gets her own offensive rebound, draws a foul, and Sydney will shoot two.
That's good aggressiveness from Sydney for her to stick with it after missing that layup, but to go back up, get her own rebound, and then fight through the contact to draw that foul.
The foul whistle on McElroy, that's 14 fouls as Sydney's free throw up and good. 14 fouls on the Vikings here in our first quarter. Second chance coming up at the free throw line. It is up and it is good. Sydney makes good on both free throws. 11-7, Swathers in front by 4 here in the first quarter. And the shed. That top pass tossed back out. Peter saves it. Hazelwood dials up from deep.
Oh my goodness.
Splashes down from way downtown. And Hazelwood with 9 of Smoky Valley's 10 points. Carly Bartel, the turnaround to answer back, doesn't go, and Kira Funk draws a foul. She'll head to the stripe and shoot two.
So I think the Swathers are doing the right thing right now. They're kind of hammering it down, though. They've only taken 1-3, I think, with Humphreys on the left side. So trying to create a presence in the post. I mean, they've already got Blanchett out of the game with a couple of fouls, so I think they're doing the right thing right now.
Kira's free throw will not drop. The second chance coming. The second free throw coming up. It is up, and it is off the mark. Rebound pulled down by the Vikings. Hazelwood ahead to Malm. Malm hands back. Malm shuffled her feet and traveled, gives the ball back to the Swathers. 11-10 to go. 11-10 our score. Minute 41, and we've got a timeout and a 30-second timeout coming up. Hey, Swather fans, thanks for choosing the Hesston Pharmacy. When you support locally owned and operated pharmacy, you make it possible for us to pass it on to Hesston kids with ads like this. Thank you, and go Swathers. Minute 41 to go. And the Swathers leading 11-10. And we thought, Cole, we said this in the opening, we thought this was going to be a barn burner. It's shaping up to be one of those.
No, I think the Swathers, as I was saying earlier, I think they're taking the right approach. They're hammering it down low. They got Blanchett in early foul trouble, 2 fouls in the first 6 minutes or so of game time, and they're taking advantage of that now. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds, second chance points. We saw Sydney Kaiser go to the line last possession. Funk on the last one. Didn't hit on their free throws, but able to draw contact and get a couple of shots at the free throw line.
Sydney Kaiser with it here in front. On top, Kira Funk finding Kendall Brugge on the far side. Kendall thought about a spin move. She'll go all the way down, and Kendall shuffled her feet and commits the turnover.
Yeah, I think she just got a little too far underneath the rim, had nowhere to go, and just kind of fell over.
Abby and Jillian checking back in the lineup with 1:27 to go in our quarter. Thought she was going to do a spin move right there, changed her mind, and there's Kendall stepping for the pass, coming up with this thievery. Kendall the other way, trying to go coast to coast, and she does with the left hand, but it will not drop. Hazelwood with the offensive rebound, swings it ahead. Far corner, Scott backing it out. Hazelwood dials up from deep. That went off the side of the rim, and that long ball will go out of bounds to the Swathers with 1 minute and 1 second remaining in our first quarter.
That's a shot Hazelwood didn't convert on that time, but you can already tell she's very comfortable taking that. She's already hit on one of them, and one of them with their foot on the line also went down. So Swathers have to be very ready to contest that, even if it's pretty far out.
Kendall Brugan here on the near side. That ball tossed away. Jillian couldn't hang on to it. Hazelwood comes away with it. Hazelwood for the Vikings back, driving, dishing on the far side, deflects off of Carly Bartel, and it will stay with the Vikings with 46.2 seconds to go. That .2, that's a big part. Can be anyway. Mom thought about a three, gives it back to Hazelwood. Hazelwood on top, Peters. Peters tries to feed to Scott here on the near side wing. Scott driving, floats it, and that's in and out. And the foul whistle on Abby Proctor, or Jillian Leas. Jillian picks up her first.
You heard Mr. Byler mess up there.
The free throw by Scott will not drop.
Those Byler errors are very rare, so you tend to take him at his word.
Absolutely right. The second free throw coming up here for Scott. It is up, and it is off the mark, and the rebound tracked down on the far side. Anna Humphreys here near side. Trying to get some separation. Swathers working that ball around the perimeter. There's a drive by Abby Proctor, missing rebound. Abby gets her own rebound. Goes up strong, lost it, blocked by Hazelwood. Here comes McElroy ahead to Scott. Scott with the left hand, drawing a foul, and she'll head back to the stripe to shoot two more.
That's a good job from Scott to be aggressive on the fast break, realizing that the Swathers didn't really have numbers back there, and then able to draw the foul again for the second consecutive possession. On Leas again, too.
So Jillian picks up foul number 2. And Scott at the free throw stripe. And Scott now 0 for 3. The woes kind of continuing for Scott at the free throw line.
Well, free throws are such a crucial part of the game. I mean, usually the good teams are going to be able to make them, and that shows. But as you see, the converted one on the back end. But free throws are opportunities to score points with the time not moving.
Right.
Never a bad thing to be able to hit on them.
Abby Proctor dials up a high arching three. That won't drop. Tracked down by Smoky Valley. That's going to do it. We've played a quarter. Swathers and Vikings knotted up at 11. We've got a good one coming up for you here on the Swathers Sports Network. We'd like to thank all of the SSN sponsors that have supported us this year. We've been able to enroll more students in our programs and continue to create quality content, large because of your support. From all of us at Swathers Sports Network, thank you. GLC Real Estate Services, your only hometown real estate agency, is a proud sponsor of Hesston Swathers. Call the GLC team for all of your real estate needs, 620-327-3100, or find us at www.glcrealestate.com or on Facebook. Central Kansas Counseling, serving individuals, couples, families, and kids throughout the region. Central Kansas Counseling walks alongside you in your pursuit of living a more healthy and courageous and authentic life. Call now to get started. Big props to our sponsors for stepping in. Can't do it without them.
The unsung heroes, having some sponsors, especially for something like Swathers Sports Network,
yes,
with the local establishment through the school, that's huge.
And feel free to, if you guys want to get in touch with, be a sponsor for Swathers Sports Network, please get in touch with Katie Gaston, and she can put you on that track. You can email her. As the three comes up by Malm, too strong, rebound pulled down. Kicked out Malm, trying to drive. And a blocking foul whistled on Anna Humphreys. Anna picks up her first personal foul, 14 fouls. The fouls have evened out.
Yeah, it was pretty lopsided there in the first couple minutes, but like you said, that's 3 fouls, I think, in 3 consecutive possessions for the Swathers.
You're right, Cole. You're absolutely right. Hazelwood the other way. As Peters, far side, drives in, pulls over the elbow. That's blocked by Abby Proctor. Abby says, not in my shed, rejects it forcefully. Jillian Leas setting up. Kendall eyes the three from way downtown. That's off the mark, and the rebound tipped out of bounds. It will stay right here with the Swathers.
The Swathers continuing to take advantage of Blanchard being out of the game. Proctor was just positioned right on that block, waiting for the rebound, able to save another possession for the Swathers.
As that ball deflecting through the hands, that Hazelwood comes up with a steal, leading McElroy the other way, kicks it out to Hazelwood for three. That's off the mark, and the rebound tracked down Anna Humphreys. Just look down and realize that Adrian Hazelwood's a junior, so Hess don't get to see her a couple times next year, too.
That's not someone you want to see more than you have to.
Carly Bartel back to Kendall Bruggen. Bruggen stepping. And the Swathers work that ball around the perimeter, trying to find a seam. There it is. Jillian Lance, the jumper from the baseline won't go. And Hazelwood, she's all over the place. That's a board for Hazelwood. She clears it out. They left it on top. Hazelwood, little ball fake, knifes through the Euro stepping through and rolls it home. Cole, I'm not sure how she did that off of 1 foot off bounds, but she did. She's having herself a game. That's 11 of the 13 points for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, again, her footwork is so good. She has awareness of where her feet are at all times, and to be able to knife her way and slice her way through the defense is really impressive.
I would have done that and broken everything in my knees. Everything in my knees would have done that. Been down. Abby Proctor picking up, now giving inside. The turnaround jumper by Jillian Lance will not go. Rebound by this Vikings. Tinsley Scott the other way. Scott on top to Malm. Malm driving down. Scott trying to drive all the way in. That shot will not go. And an offensive foul. I didn't even see that. I was looking at something else. The offensive foul against Scott.
Yeah, I think it was Proctor who was posted down there in the paint, waiting for Malm to drive it right into her and drew that charge.
13-11 our score. 6 minutes to go in our first half. That ball nearly taken away on the far side. And the Vikings come away with it. Down low they go to McElroy. McElroy in traffic out to Malm. She'll try her hand at a three. That's off the mark, and the rebound is pulled down, and two Swathers have it. They don't communicate. They go to the floor and commit the travel.
On the other end, that's just a lazy passing for the Swathers. You can't project who you're passing to. I mean, there was no question that pass was going to Bruggen on the right wing. So allowing the defense to basically have a free try at picking that ball off, and they were able to do so. You just can't have that kind of turnover.
Full timeout taken by the Swathers. The Bradbury Group is a proud supporter of Hesston High School Athletics. Bradbury is a family-owned custom equipment manufacturer headquartered in Mount Ridge. They are currently hiring for entry-level and advanced manufacturing careers. Bradbury's family environment, variety and challenging work, opportunities to advance, and great benefits are unmatched. To learn more, visit BradburyGroup.com. So big shout out to like we said, our sponsor, Bradbury Group. 13-11, a barn burner here from the Shed. And we're going to see a good ball game tonight, my friend.
No, it's been good action so far. Again, Hazelwood, you can't say enough about her. 11 points out of the team's 13. I mean, she's just really good, and it's going to be tough to defend her. You said the key to the game was trying to limit Hazelwood, but when you have a player that good, it's like saying slow down Jake Proctor for tonight. That's your goal. Like, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
So easier said than done, and she's been getting her way earlier in this game.
And proving that she can go inside outside. It's not a one-trick pony. It is. She can hit an off-balance shot. She can score from deep. She can slash. Complete player as a junior.
And both lead into each other so well.
Very much so. She'll key it in from the baseline and lobs it back on top to Malm. Eva Malm works it, finding Hazelwood. Hazelwood to Scott. They'll play catch. 5:30 to go. They work it back on the far side. Malm has it. Scott looking to drive, backs it out. Peters. Vikings very, very patient, looking for that shot. Malm goes down, and she'll double dribble, and the Swathers defense comes up big.
And I wonder, outside of Hazelwood, if the Vikings will really be able to find any offense, because right now it's pretty much all on her back, whether it's her scoring or it's her passing ability, which she's had a couple of nice passes where nothing is really let off of them.
And there's a steal by McElroy. McElroy must have heard you talking. She'll stop and pop and scores. And McElroy is the first player not named Hazelwood to have a field goal.
Yeah, no, that was perfect timing. It's easy to get those points there in the fast break with the 1-on-none.
Abby Proctor the far side. Proctor driving in. And that's a nice take by Abby, and the lid on the bucket, preventing the basket to go. As Hazelwood will bring it in. And there's a foul on the Swathers.
And I wonder if Funk will be able to hold up against Hazelwood. Hazelwood has a lot of strength as well as her, you know, she can shoot it from outside, she can go inside. So I wonder how that'll play into that matchup. But she's done a good job so far.
Oh,
Funk's been on her.
absolutely. Kira's living in her shirt. As driving down the spinning shot by Malm. That shot will not go. The rebound pulled down by Kendall Brugan. Kendall wants to go coast to coast. Not even stopping. Kendall out of control, gets her own shot. Her follow-up and good. Kendall's just padding her stats at that point, don't you think? I'm going to get my offensive rebound and score. Hazelwood on the far side, back to Scott. Scott from 15, she'll kick it back out. Malm dials up from deep, and that one too strong off the heel. Rebound, Anna Humphreys.
And that was really good defense by Humphreys. She read that the entire way. Got a nice shot contest in.
Carter Bartell, short corner, backs out Kendall Brugan. Kendall in traffic, the sophomore slices in again, and Kendall Brugan's feeling that's 2 straight possessions, 2 straight buckets. She has 6.
And that was quite lazy by Smoky Valley. No one stepped up to help. It was just all Brugan. As soon as she got by her first man, there was no resistance at the basket.
Hazelwood quick release 3, well strong. That ball tipped and saved. Somehow it was saved, but the Swathers come away with a loose ball. And Kendall in trouble, picking up her dribble. Swathers have to get it across the timeline. Anna Humphreys does finally to Kiara Funk here on the near side. Kiara snaps a pass to Jillian Less, who steps in. Off the glass, no good. Jillian, her stick back will not go. She draws a foul, and she'll head to the stripe to shoot free throws.
I know Lea's original layup didn't go in, but Bartell did a great job of sealing Hazelwood off, not allowing her to affect the shot. Lea's just unable to get it to go, but that was a really good job by Bartell to seal Hazelwood off.
So Jillian had a chance to get herself started from the free throw line, and too strong. Second free throw coming up for Leas.
And take now, that is Hazelwood's second foul.
Thank you. I didn't even see that was who the foul was on.
We'll see how that plays in the rest of this quarter especially.
Jillian knocks the free throw down, her first point of the game, and the Swathers have answered. There's a timeout taken by Smoky Valley. They want a full timeout, take it. We'll step away right here on the Swather Sports Network. Receive a minimum scholarship package of 65% of tuition, a discount of over $19,000 per year at Hesston College when you meet the following criteria. Graduate from a high school within 50-mile radius of Hesston College. Live on campus. Meet admissions acceptance standards. With your discount, you're guaranteed to pay less than the average price of KU, K-State, or Wichita State. Hesston College. Start here, go everywhere. So we're at the 3:14 mark of our second quarter, and we're being treated to a good ball game, a back and forth ball game. It's a 5-0 run here for the Swathers. Can you call it a run at 5-0? I think you can, can't you?
Do what?
Call it a run at 5-0? I think you can, can't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Sparked by Brugan. She's done a really good job letting the game come to her a little bit in the second quarter especially. Had that nice fast break look where she got her own rebound and went back over the layup, and then just knifing through the defense. And again, I was confused on, I was expecting someone to meet her on the backside for help, but just no one ever came over to help and got a really easy layup. So it's a good job from Brugan by taking advantage of that.
6 points for Kendall. She leads the Swather offense. 11 for Hazelwood to lead, and she's back in with 2 fouls.
Yeah, she's got to be careful here for the last 3 minutes and 7 seconds of the second quarter.
Scott fires a 3. That is off the mark, and that ball out of bounds.
I think we're seeing in these last couple of Smoky Valley possessions why it's been Hazelwood taking a majority of the shots, because these really have not been close.
Anna Humphreys crossing the timeline, calling out the offense. Kendall Brugan. Back on top of that ball, deflecting away. There's a steal by McElroy, and she is fouled by Kendall Brugan.
Probably not the worst foul ever. Was probably going to be a layup. It would have been a tough layup through traffic. But Brugan, not the worst foul. Not mad about that at all, except for the fact that it does give her 2.
One thing about that, here's Hazelwood dialing up a no-man's land jumper from 17.5 feet. A little bit off. The rebound, Kendall Brugan. Bergen to Kira Funk here on the near side. High post, nobody home. That goes through the hands. No one, miscommunication there as Blanchett comes up with the easy steal. Scott wraps it around, batted out of bounds by Anna Humphreys as Abby Proctor checks it. Cole, one thing we talked a little bit, and maybe we haven't talked about that, but with Hazelwood on the bench, maybe this is a time that you learn about who can step up. Or when she was on the bench, I mean, that's what I meant to say, when she was on the bench, but who steps up in that respect.
And we saw them, they didn't really have anywhere to go with the ball. Like the offense really does go straight through Hazelwood, and that's about it, it feels like.
And she'll work on top.
I mean, again, there's only been one field goal outside of Hazelwood scored for Smoky Valley this game.
Hazelwood here on the near side, trying to drive, stepping through, gives and go, and the ball tossed away. Last touch by the Swathers as Sydney Kaiser and Casey Mason. Names are hard. And even if you know the kids, names are hard. That one nearly taken away. Hazelwood stops and pops from 12, and that one will not drop in the rebound by Sydney.
That was pretty good defense by Bruggen to step up and at least affect that shot and not allow Hazelwood the opening that I think she thought she was going to have.
Yeah, Kendall closed out very quickly. Kendall working it far side, Abby Proctor. Smoky Valley's gone to zone. Down low, that ball taken away, but it will stay with the Swathers as Blanchett couldn't hang on to it.
And I actually love that adjustment by Smoky Valley. Hesston's really, I think they've only taken 1-3 still with that Humphreys shot. So trying to tell the Swathers, all right, prove that you can beat me from the outside, maybe we'll go back to man.
Sydney Kaiser on top, Bruggen. Thought about a three. Abby Proctor will try the three. That's a little strong. Rebound taken in by the Vikings. Here they come the other way. Hazelwood calling out that offense. As the Vikings work the ball all the way around. And Adrian Hazelwood one more time. She'll drive in, draws a crowd of Swathers off the glass, up and good. So Hazelwood scores in the custom cutting, against the custom cutting fleet. Down low, and Smoky Valley retakes the lead.
At this point with Hazelwood, I'd almost consider just putting 2 people on her at all times and then playing a 3-on-4 with everyone else until they can prove that they can do something.
Anna trying to drive. There's a foul whistled almost away from the basketball. McElroy picks up her first personal, second personal, and Anna at the stripe to shoot the 1-and-1. And the free throw coming up. Anna's free throw, good. Cole, here's one thing. I love women's college basketball, and the 5th foul, you get the double bonus. I do like that. I like that a lot. I can't wait to see if that'll make her transition down into women's high school basketball. As Anna makes both free throws, she now has 5, and it's 18-17. Swathers by a point.
Yeah, if there was anyone you didn't want to foul in that last possession, it would have been Anna Humphreys.
You're absolutely correct. Hazelwood again. Looking down low, directing traffic, guarded by Abby Proctor. That ball nearly 10. That's a great reach in there and tie up by Sydney Kaiser.
And that's what she provides. She's such a good defender, very tenacious, knows what to do with her hands. That was a phenomenal read and a great job to reach into there and cause that jump ball.
18-17 our score. Swathers look like they're going to hold for one as the clock winds down. 15 seconds to go here in the quarter. Casey Mason here and on the far side, Anna Humphreys with 8. Anna with 6. Down low they go. That ball batted out of there, reeled in. The shot will not go. We'll head to halftime. Swathers and the Vikings in a barn burner. Hesston leading 18-17. We'll be back with the start of the second half right here on the Swathers Sports Network. welcome back to the shed. We're winding down halftime here of our girls' game in what has been a really good first half.
Well, it's been very competitive the entire way. It was a late run by Hesston that got them down from a little bit of a hole. Bruggen, again, we talked about her taking things into her own hands, a couple of layups, and then all of a sudden the lead was back to the Swathers. But a 1-point lead, we're basically back where we started 2 quarters ago with 0 all. So it'll be interesting to see how the second half plays out.
Absolutely. Going to be a barn burner here in the shed, because we're not going to call it a barn in the barn, right?
It's not a shed burner, that's for sure.
It's barn
I hope not. I hope it's not a shed burner.
Right. Hey, major props to our cheerleading squad: Olivia Arnold, Katie Bowles, Lily Smith, Elena Tozier, Aubrey Hoskinson, Maddie Tozier, Abby Miller, and Kylie Kluver, and cheerleading advisor Kayla Ledford. The Spirit Squad, they do so much. They're on their feet the entire time, cheering their hearts out. Major props to them.
It's something I definitely would not be able to do. I can say that much.
No, I can tumble, but not well. I can tumble down the stairs easy peasy. So.
Oh, man.
Off to go. We go. Smoky Valley with the basketball coming out of the second half. Mom swings it here on the near side. McElroy plays it on top to Hazelwood. Mom, she'll try a three. The three off the mark. Smoky Valley continues to struggle from deep outside of Hazelwood. Here comes the Swathers the other way. Kendall Bruggen sealed off Hazelwood, goes in, draws a foul, and Bruggen will head to the stripe.
And keep in mind for Smoky Valley, still only 1 field goal outside of Hazelwood on the game. That is not a good look for the offense.
Check that. They're going to call it on the floor. Anna Humphreys on the far side trying to set things up. This is off Kendall Bruggen. Bruggen, the running one-hander up and good. Kendall with her 4th field goal of the contest. I've got her down for 8. Cole, you got her for 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to deem it official. She has 8. And the Swathers extend the lead by 3. They lead by a field goal in football terms, 20-17. The scoop shot by Hazelwood will not go. Abby Proctor clears the boards the other way. Here comes Bruggen on the runner. The scoop shot, her shot up and good. The basket counts. And Kendall heads to the free throw line where she will have a chance to complete the old-fashioned three-point play.
And how good is Bruggen playing right now? She's stepping her game up, and it's led to now a 5-point lead for the Swathers.
And that foul whistled on Hazelwood, that's number 3. So something to continue to watch in this contest. As Kendall's free throw, it is up and it is rolling around, living right, dropping down. Kendall with all 5 points in the quarter, and the Swathers have their biggest lead of the contest at 6.
And she has 9 of the last 13 points scored for the Swathers.
Hazelwood the other way. McElroy swinging it over on the far side, backs out. Malm thought about a 3, changed her mind, gives it back. Peters, her jumper, missing rebound though. Underneath was Blanchett, and Blanchett is fouled. And that foul goes against Anna. Anna picks up number 2.
And she grimaced after that foul, but again, I don't think that was a bad foul. It was going to be Blanchett all by herself on the post. That's not something you want to give up.
No, it's kind of a heads-up foul. There's a poke-away strip, steal, and the Smoky Valley steals it back the other way. Blanchett can't cash in from close, and the rebound, Bruggen, she may not be denied all the way down. Bruggen like a freight train, but her shot is blocked by Hazelwood. And Hazelwood said, not this time. As Hazelwood gives it off on the near side. McElroy plays it back to Hazelwood. 6 to go here in the second quarter. Malm driving, floats it with the left hand up and good. Or excuse me, the right hand floater up and good. Malm has the first field goal for Smoky Valley of the quarter.
And only the second field goal outside of Hazelwood. And that other field goal was a 1-on-none fast break. So they haven't, that's the first half court field goal outside of Hazelwood.
You're right. You're very right. As Anna Humphreys backs away, she'll drive down. A little bit out of control, but draws a blocking foul. And that will go against Blanchett. If that's on Blanchett, that's number 3. It is. So Blanchett with 3, Hazelwood with 3. And the Swathers, knowing that they've got a couple players down low, well, that's 4.
I thought it was 3 as well.
I had it, okay.
That's huge, actually.
That is very big. I thought it was 3. So she picks up number 4.
She'll be on the bench at least until the fourth quarter.
Yes. Down low they go right away. Bruggen inside scores and executes the Kendall Bruggen show here in this third quarter. And she'll head to the stripe and shoot a free throw for her chance at a second consecutive three-point play of the old-fashioned variety. That free throw dropping home. Kendall has all the points in the quarter. She has 8 in the quarter by my count. Your count too? Good, we're on the same page. Hazelwood the other way trying to answer back. Finding Peters. She'll give it back to Adrian Hazelwood. That ball poked away by Kendall Brugan. Kendall feeling it. Kendall driving all the way in. Her shot blocked by Hazelwood. A nice save, but Kendall lined out of bounds.
How big is that block by Hazelwood, man?
Gigantic.
That's a couple of times in this quarter that she's blocked Brugan on the fast break. And that, yeah, man, if Brugan would have been able to get that one to go, the momentum would have been fully on the Swathers side, and it would have been a tough road coming back if you were to Smoky Valley. But that's a big block.
The other thing I take away from that is how good was Hazelwood not giving up on that play, coming down and making something happen on the defensive end.
And on top of that, not getting a foul.
Not getting a foul. You're absolutely right. There's a strip and a steal by the Swathers. Kendall comes away with it again. Kendall driving all the way in. Lester for Anna Humphreys because Hazelwood was right there in her pocket. The ball shot will not go. Loose ball, bodies everywhere. It's mass confusion and chaos. It looks like a pile up, a train wreck out there. Possession arrow will keep the ball with the Swathers.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wild sequence there. We saw a story that we've seen a couple times with the Brugan and Hazelwood fast break.
Yeah. Kendall steps inside the arc, the jumper up and good.
Man,
Kendall Brugan is on fire. As Kendall has all 10 points here in the quarter. As Hazelwood from the elbow kicks it out. Mom, a little ball fake. She'll drive in, draws a couple defenders, draws a foul. And they say it was on the floor before the shot.
We talk about Brugan on the offensive end. How about 12 of the last 17 points for the Swathers? And those have been 12 points in the last 2 quarters because I think she only had 2 coming into the second.
She did. She did. You are absolutely right. The runner by Mom up and good, and Mom's starting to feel it. She's picked up the pace. She has 2 field goals in the quarter. She has 4 points. It's 28-21. Swathers trail by a touchdown, or lead by a touchdown. Maybe we can see how many sports we can reference in one broadcast.
Yeah, if you can get croquet, I'd be impressed.
Okay, all right. You hold that thought, my friend. Get over Brugan on the far side. As she gives it on top, Swathers very patient one more time. Anna driving down low, draws contact. Kendall, though, or rather Casey Mason down low, has it stripped away. Ball loose, and that will go out of bounds, and it will stay with Hesston as Abby Proctor checks back in. Oh, I'm starting to think croquet. We're
you know, better yet, try to get an equestrian one in there. I don't know if you'd be able to do that.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
Kendall Brew, or rather Anna Humphreys, working on the far side, winging it over. And there's an offensive foul whistled. And that foul will go against Casey Mason.
So what, that's 3 illegal screens we've seen in this game?
Yeah.
That's not often you see 3 in one game.
The other night, on Thursday night, we had Charge Fest in the boys' game. We had a lot of offensive fouls. I think there were 7 or 8 offensive fouls called in that game. But it was consistent. It was both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there. It's a foul. They're calling it. Hazelwood the other way dumps it down. That pass is taken away. And a tie-up whistled. And the possession arrow stays with the Vikings. Carly Bartell, Jillian Lance back in the lineup for the Swathers.
Well, they didn't get the ball, but Casey Mason made a nice read on there on the Hazelwood pass, read it all the way, tipped it, and was able to sort of steal possession from Smoky Valley, even though they get the ball right back.
Hazelwood on the far side again, kicks it out. Peters trying to find some way, a seam against a Swather rabid defense. As Hazelwood goes down, draws 2 defenders. They kick it out here on the near side. Mom steps through. She likes that floater shot. It will not drop from 15 on the baseline. Rebound tracked down by Carly Bartell. Snapping to pass ahead. Anna Humphreys finding Kara Funk. Again, the Swathers now working time with the lead. Dump down as they work it down low. Abby Proctor, her shot in and out. The rebound tipped out of bounds, or tipped on the far side, saved by Smoky Valley before it can go out of bounds. And Hazelwood is bumped on the far side by Kira Funk. Kira picks up foul number 2.
If you're Smoky, you got to find, again, some way to try to generate some sort of offense. It's been predominantly Hazelwood. We have seen a couple of floaters from Malm here in the third quarter, but again, it's been predominantly Hazelwood.
Hazelwood will crossover move, steps through, floats it up. The basket will go in, will count. What a take by Adrian Hazelwood.
And I have no idea where the help was on that. I mean, we've seen what Hazelwood's done all night, one-on-one. You can't allow her to have that opportunity. You got to be doubling her as soon as she steps foot into the lane. Poor job by the Swather help defense on that possession.
The free throw, too strong by Hazelwood. And the rebound tracked down, though, by Smoky Valley. The three up and good here for Scott. Scott hits a three. And just like that, the Vikings have had a quick little rally. They trail by 2. Kira Funk looking down low. Jillian Lance plays it, Carly Bartell. Carly working on top, Anna Humphreys. Swather's very patient. Down low they go, Abby Proctor. Abby stepping through, kicks out. Kira, the jumper from the elbow, that spins off. Rebound, Abby Proctor, her step back up and good. Abby Proctor kind of muscled that up. We've got a 30-second timeout coming up here by the Swathers. They want 30 seconds to talk it over. 30-second coming up. Rolling Wheels is a proud sponsor of the Swather Sports Network. Since 2016, Rolling Wheels has been your local pre-owned car dealer, and we are proud to help many Swathers get in their first ride. Call us or text us at 620-869-9982. Go Swathers. What a game we're being treated to here, Cole.
It's been a battle of wills between Bruggen and Hazelwood over the past couple of quarters. But no, now some of the Smoky Valley supporting cast starting to step up. Malm on that last possession. Scott hit a big three. So we'll see how that plays in the rest of the game. But I think it's going to come down to the wire here in the shed tonight.
You are absolutely right. We couldn't have asked for a better game on the RC Cola Hour. And off we go. And now Malm will bring the ball to the floor, kind of giving the Vikings a little different look as she'll hand off to Hazelwood. Hazelwood saw the seam. Peters on the far side, stepped through, backs it out to Malm. The Vikings very patient, trying to find some separation. Malm trying to get free on that far side, can't find anyone open, or any lane rather. As Hazelwood will drive all the way in. Her scoop shot will not go. She's blocked. It's foul whistle on the floor.
And Richardson is furious because you could hear him even with the headset on. Don't foul that entire possession. And what happens? A foul on the Swathers.
Kira Funk picks up foul number 3, and just like that, the Swathers with 16 fouls here in the third quarter. This may be setting up to see a lot of free throws shot in that fourth quarter. Hazelwood from way downtown, put it in the book. Adrian Hazelwood cans the 3. I have her for 18 already. Abby Proctor trying to answer back. Proctor finding Anna Humphreys. Anna works it back on top. Carly Bartell. Kendall Bruggen on hand for the Swathers. Step back 3 by Bruggen. Will not drop, and the rebound hauled down by Scott. Scott gives back to Hazelwood. Hazelwood trying to cross it over. Back to Malm. Malm will drive all the way in. Scoop shot by Malm will not go. Rebound, Kendall Bruggen ahead to Anna Humphreys. Anna flying down the court on the far side. Steps through, shot won't go. Rebound pulled down. It's a furious action, little scoring. Here comes Hazelwood back the other way. Spittler off the glass, up and good. Spittler has her first bucket, the sophomore, and Smoky Valley has rallied. Down 7 now. They now lead at 31-30 as the clock winding down with 3, with 2. Kendall Bruggen's 3 to beat the buzzer. It does! Put it in the book. Kendall Bruggen bangs the 3 home. He'll go to a break. Swathers retake the lead, 33-31. Wow!
You said it. It was furious action in the last minute and a half. Fast and furious. it was Smoky Valley. They were down 7 points at one point. I think it was 28-21.
28-21.
Actually, wasn't it 28-19 at one point?
I think you're right. I think it was 28-19.
Because I think they hit a layup to bring it to 21. So I think not a great job by the Swathers. They had a couple of empty possessions, a little sloppy on the offensive side, and allowing to get, I mean, Hazelwood, man, how do you can say what you want, but it's tough to guard her when she's, a couple feet beyond the three-point arc. It brings.
And now as Smoky Valley, you've got a team starting to feel some confidence without hers. You got a dangerous, dangerous Smoky Valley team.
And that was a huge shot by Bruggen to end the quarter
because
all the momentum was on Smoky Valley's side. So to hit a big shot, still give the Swathers the lead, and now, most importantly, in my opinion, the momentum heading into the fourth quarter, able to maybe not giving yourselves momentum, but at least stopping Smoky Valley's.
We have a quick opportunity here, and we have to thank our kids working here, the Swathers Sports Network, Meg Warner, Alexander Gale, Jackson Hastings, Hunter Diller, Era Deering. We can't say enough about what these kids have done and what they're doing, help bringing you these views, producing. Swathers Sports Network, man, if you are a member of USD 460, you want a great experience, sign up for those classes. And there's a steal by Smoky Valley back the other way. Stop and pop. That shot is short. Rebound comes up with Anna Humphreys. Anna trying to set this offense up on the far side. That goes to Carly Bartell. Her scoop shot up the basket. Good. Carly's second bucket of the ball game. And a big bucket there as she scores and heads to the free throw stripe.
Yeah, what a time to find the basket for the second time tonight. That was a nice move from Bartell. She got plenty of space down there on the right block. One pivot up with the hook shot. That was beautiful work inside.
And Carly has a chance to cash in on the old-fashioned three-point play, and does. Carly Bartell knocks the free throw down. She has 5. It's a 5-point Swather lead, 36-31. Vikings on the offensive right now. Hazelwood Malm, they're playing catch. Malm driving in, and they're going to whistle a foul before the shot on a reach by Jillian Lance, and Jillian picks up foul number, check that, that's on Anna Humphreys. And Anna picks up foul number 4. So now Anna will have to spend some time on the bench. The Swather point guard, the senior point guard, heads to the bench, and Malm at the free throw line shooting the 1-and-1. And the first one is good.
You got to think now more than ever it's going to be the Bruggen show on the offensive side with Humphreys on the bench as well too.
Second free throw by Malm is up, and it's good. Malm knocks down the free throw. Eva Malm, 6 points. She's kind of heating up, and that relieves pressure off of it. Hazelwood. 3-point Swather advantage. Abby Proctor saw the seam, drives all the way in. Abby Proctor wouldn't be denied, but the basket will not go.
That's the second or third time tonight that Proctor has had an unfortunate bounce on a layup.
There's the one-hand pass to Scott. Scott skips on top. Hazelwood sporting the pink shoes, drives all the way in, scoops one up and in. And Hazelwood, who had been quiet for a while, she gets loud, makes a loud bucket, and she'll have a chance for the three-point play and a chance to tie this ball game.
And Leas has to get to the spot faster than Hazelwood. If she was there literally just a half second earlier, would have been a much tougher finish. Would have been able to get a hand on that ball probably, instead bucket and the foul.
The free throw will not go. Hazelwood a battle for it. And a timeout taken here by Smoky Valley. They want 30 seconds to talk it over. Rachel Burge and Brendan Nebel focus on relationships going beyond the sale. Let this KSI Realty team show you proven results up and down the I-35 corridor. Hashtag sold by KSI. That's KSI Realty. There for a second, I thought the Swathers were going to run away for it. The Vikings come plundering back and pillage their way. It's a one-point game.
Now, there were a couple of runs where I thought Swathers had pretty much sealed the deal between when they got up 9 points and then when Bartell hit that and one. I thought, okay, now momentum fully on their side, but instead, like you said, Vikings get right back into it. Now they have a chance to take the lead here with any kind of bucket.
Yeah, they were down 5. They trail by 1, and they'll hand off on the far side. Malm with it. Malm kicks it back. Hazelwood. Hazelwood trying to set this offense up. Hazelwood works it. Malm, near side Scott. Scott trying to turn the corner, dribbles off her foot. Hazelwood right place, right time. Hazelwood flips it back. Airplane catch. 6:27 to go here in our contest. Hazelwood calling for the screen, trying to get some separation against Abby Proctor all the way in. How did she get that shot off? Her body was clearly behind the backboard. It doesn't go. Rebound, Kendall Bergen, and Kendall on the far side, Jillian Lance. Back down low, Kendall catching, shooting off the glass, up and good. Kendall Bergen hits 21, ties her career high, and the Swathers lead by 3.
And she made that look a lot easier than it was, because that was not an easy scoop layup to hit.
Malm trying to answer back from deep. It will not go. Rebound pulled down by Abby Proctor. Proctor the other way. Proctor crossover move, floats it up and rolls one home. Abby Proctor finally gets one of those little bunnies to score. 4 quick points by the Swathers. They stretch the lead to 5.
And it was the 2 sophomores. We talked about it in the very beginning of the game, and they're doing it very late with some senior help on the bench in foul trouble.
There's a foul whistled on the entry pass to Hazelwood.
Who's on Proctor.
And Proctor picks up her first, and Adrian Hazelwood heads to the free throw line where she gets to shoot a 1-and-1. Casey Mason, Cindy Kaiser checking the lineup. Hazelwood's free throw, good. Hazelwood's starting to heat up. She's having herself a great game tonight.
Mm-hmm. You know, her and Bergen have been battling, especially here in the second half. Yeah, seriously.
It's been a lot of fun to watch. Free throw, up and good. 40-37. Can we make an old school NBA reference? Bird, Dominique, the duel. Are we seeing something like that?
Bird and Dominique, that's high praise. It's pretty tough to emulate that.
Sydney Kaiser, she'll try a 3. Her 3 will not go. Rebound, though, by Casey Mason. Casey draws a foul down low, and she'll head to the stripe and shoot 2.
How about another sophomore making a big play when it counts? That's a nice offensive board, and to just go straight back up with it, and that's Hazelwood's 3rd.
Her 3rd. Okay, that's where I wrote the foul down around that. Okay, so Hazelwood picks up her 3rd. Casey at the free throw line to shoot 2, and the first free throw for the sophomore coming up.
And maybe, maybe more important than this specific drawing the foul is now the next foul will be in the bonus.
Right, Blanchett checking in at the 5:18 mark. She has 4 personal fouls. The free throw on the way for Casey. And it is good. Casey makes good on 1 of 2. Swathers lead by 4, 41-37. 5:16 to go. Hazelwood on the far side. Hazelwood driving, draws 2 defenders, swinging it back on top. Scott Hazelwood, they'll play catch again. Hazelwood trying to get stop and pop. Blanchett draws a crowd, goes down low, and that ball deflecting goes right through the wickets of Kiera Funk, but she gets it back.
There's the croquet reference.
41-37. As Kendall Bruggen working on the far side. Bruggen all the way in, slices
oh
the
my
hoop.
goodness.
The step through up and good. That's not even
Turn her
fair.
up a little bit. That's ridiculous. Bruggen is putting on a show in the second half.
23 points for Kendall Bruggen. And 4:29 to go. Scott to answer back. A deep 3 rattles out. And the rebound hauled in by Kiera Funk.
I thought that was going to go down. I'm not going to lie. Had a lot of arc. That one scraped the ceiling.
Far side, Kiera on the wing. Handing off Sydney. 4:05 to go in this contest. And we have been treated to a great ball game. As they look down low, Kiera in trouble and a timeout called. Yeah. A good timeout by Coach Richardson. Kiera in trouble. They want 30 seconds to talk things over. And we'll keep it right here. All right. 3:54 to go. Man, we're seeing some good basketball tonight from the Shed.
And what I need to see from the Swathers, in recent years, it's been, you know, when you're playing the really good teams, they've been in winning positions before, but it's been a bit of a crumbling in the late stages of the game, mainly due to a lack of ball security. So what I need to see the Swathers do here, especially with now with a 6-point lead, to garner that lead, they need to make sure they're not turning it over. If they're just getting looks, even if you're not converting on it, but at least not giving Smoky Valley the chance to run in the fast break and score quick, easy points, cannot turn it over here if you're the Swathers.
I've got Hazelwood, am I right? 22 for her? Yep.
I agree.
And then Kendall with 23. That's a lot of points for these two players.
Yes, it
going
is.
head-to-head. Anna Humphreys back in the game. She has 4 fouls. Entry pass, City Kaiser. Turnaround hook shot will not go. There's Brugan cleaning up the glass.
Man. She's everywhere right now.
25 for Kendall Brugan. 45-37. As Hazelwood the other way draws a foul. She's fouled before the shot. Doesn't matter. She'll head to the stripe and shoot too.
You know, both players have well over half of their team's points.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. You don't. Hazelwood's free throw. Up and good.
Hazelwood missed her first couple of free throws, but she's making them count when it matters the most here in the fourth quarter.
The second chance of the charity line coming up. It is up and it is in and out. Rebound pulled down, Sydney Kaiser. Swathers track the loose ball now. They lead by 7. It doesn't feel like it's a comfortable 7 either at this point.
Especially after giving up that 7-point lead very quickly in the third quarter. Yeah.
There's an offensive foul against the
fourth
Swathers.
illegal screen. Kaiser just shoved her opponent right in the back on that one. Maybe a bit acted out, but still probably going to get called. I mean, they've showed that it's going to get called tonight.
The City picks up her second personal foul. No matter how much dressage you can put on that, it's still a foul.
Mm-hmm.
It was a reach. It was a reach for equestrian dressage. It was a reach.
I don't count it. I don't count it.
All right. Hazelwood on the far side gives it off. Scott here in the near corner. That one deflecting out of bounds and then reeled in at the half-court stripe by Malm. Malm just nearly has it stripped away. Hazelwood tripped up. She's fouled. She'll head to the stripe, and Kendall picks up foul number 3.
I'd be interested to see that replay. It was tough to see it from here. It almost looked like she just tripped on her own. But you kind of have to make a call there. With when a player goes to the ground, even if it was just them tripping over themselves, just the appearance of it, you almost have to call that.
Hazelwood knocks the free throw down. Second chance upcoming. That free throw in and out. The rebound tracked down by Blanchett. Blanchett has it deflecting on the far side. Peters gets it through traffic. Swings over. Scott from way downtown. That's
my
good.
Goodness.
And Scott knocks the 3 down. Her second 3 of the contest. It's a 3-point game. 2:43 to go.
How big is that shot from Scott there? That takes a ton of pressure off the shoulder of Smoky and transitions it to Swathers.
Anna Humphreys trying to turn the corner and answer back for the Swathers. Humphreys give it go down low. Brugan muscled the shot up. Rebound pulled down by Scott. Here come the Vikings. Scott's canned a couple threes. She wisely waits to give the ball to Hazelwood. Great quarter awareness there. Scott on the far side. She'll drive in, dips it down low. Carly Bartell steps in front, forces the pass line. Carly rips the ball away and said, "That's my ball."
That was great defensive play there from Bartell to, like you said, rip it away from the opponent and secure a steal for the Swathers. That's a big-time play.
Abby Proctor setting this offense up. Swathers with the 3-point lead.
And you're not forced to take a shot here.
You're not.
Theoretically, they could dribble down all minute 43 that's left on the clock.
And the Swathers very patient. Smoky Valley with only 16 fouls. Next foul will put them at the line at 1-on-1. Proctor saw the seam, lost it going up, and kicks it out of bounds. It goes to the Vikings.
Wow, that's costly because she had a wide open layup.
She wrapped it around, saw the seam. Timeout taken, full timeout here by the Vikings, we'd like to thank all of our Swather Sports Network sponsors that have supported us this year. We've been able to enroll more students in our programs and continue to create quality content largely because of your support. From all of us at Swather Sports Network, thank you. GLC Real Estate Services Incorporated, your only hometown real estate agency, is a proud sponsor of the Hesston Swathers. Call the GLC team for all of your real estate needs. 620-327-3100, or find us on the web at glcrealestate.com or on Facebook. Central Kansas Counseling, serving individuals, couples, family, and kids throughout the region. Central Kansas Counseling walks alongside you in your pursuit of living a more healthy, courageous, and authentic life. Call now to get started. Big thank you to our sponsors, and they've got to be proud to be sponsoring such a barn burner in the shed.
I gotta tell you what, Rusty, it's good to be up here and not having to read the ads. That's something I don't miss.
Our goal for the second half of the season is to get our seniors to read these ads, so all we got to do is push a button.
That would be nice.
Are you saying you want to do the ads in the second game?
You know, I'll let you maintain that responsibility.
All right. It's the RC Cola Show here with 1:31 to go. Smoky Valley trailing by 3. Adrian Hazelwood. Working on the far side. Hazelwood, a quick trigger 3. That's off the mark. Scott cannot save it. It's out of bounds. And the Swathers come away with it.
It wasn't a bad look, but it was very rushed.
It was rushed. It felt rushed.
I mean, you didn't necessarily even need a 3 there. You could have gone for a quick layup and tried to foul.
Mom trying to foul. Swings it back to Bruggen. Kendall Bruggen. 25 points in the contest for the Swathers. And there's the foul on Malm.
I don't want to jinx it, but you know, if there's anyone that you didn't want to foul, we said it earlier, it's probably Anna Humphreys, the senior. She's been in this situation a time or two during her 4 years here at Hesston.
And she's at the stripe shooting the 1-and-1. And that free throw crawls off.
Oh my goodness.
But the Swathers with the rebound, saving Cole's reputation.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough.
The jinx of the broadcaster is a real thing.
It really is.
It really is. Abby Proctor swings it over Jillian List. Swathers have backed it away, and there they're tying up. Hazelwood picks up foul number 4. Anna will head back to the stripe to shoot the 1-on-1. We have seen a great, huge performance tonight by both teams. Anna at the free throw line. Her first free throw, nothing but the bottom of the net. I think Cole might have been holding his breath.
She almost turned me into the scapegoat right there. That would have been rough.
Second free throw coming up. Anna's free throw too strong on the rebound, tracked down and saved by the Vikings. Hazelwood with 46 seconds to go. Scott back to Hazelwood, quick fire 3. That is off the heel, too strong. Rebound Peters, she gives it back to Hazelwood to Scott. Scott from a different zip code, and that draws iron. Rebound tracked down Anna Humphreys. Humphreys wiggles her way through traffic. As the clock winding down, and there's a foul on Bree Peters. Kendall Bruggen will head to the stripe and shoot 2.
And again, call me old-fashioned, but I really would have liked to see the Vikings just go for a quick layup there. Instead, 2 really deep threes. I mean, yeah, I get it. You're down 4, you're down 2 possessions, but you're down 2 possessions. You're going to need 2 no matter what.
You are absolutely right.
I personally would have liked to see them go for a quick layup, but that's just me.
Bruggen's free throw up and good. That's 26 points by Kendall Bruggen.
Man, she's played her tail off the entire game, especially in the second half. I mean, there's not a lot you can say about it. It's just a level-headed performance here from Bruggen.
The second free throw up and good. Make it 27. Bruggen with 27. Swathers up by 6, 48 as the clock winding down on what has been a great ball game. That ball deflecting away, and the Swathers pull it in. And they'll give it back to Humphreys, and the clock winding 13 seconds to go. And Bruggen will dribble it down, and she's fouled right here by Hazelwood. And Hazelwood picks up foul number 5. But what a game for Adrian Hazelwood.
Yeah, she did pretty much exactly what I expected. She dominated this game really in stretches for the Vikings. Not only offensively, but also a lot of rebounds, a couple of blocks on Bruggen that were huge at the time. She played a really good game.
Kendall knocks down point number 28 of the contest. Hazelwood, I have her finishing the night for 24. I think you're with me with that. Am I right?
Yes.
The second free throw, that is off by Kendall, the clock winding down. What can you say? Kendall Bruggen, 28 points tonight. Malm knifes through. Kendall for good measure swats it out of bounds.
For good measure, the cherry on top.
What a game and what a victory for Hesston High School. We'll do some quick telling here of the stats in just a second. For Smoky Valley, it looks like I have Spittler with 2, 3 for Clara McElroy, 6 for Ava Malm, 7 for Tinley Scott, and 24 for Adrian Hazelwood. You flip the script on the other side, and you have looks like I have 1 for Casey Mason, 1 for Jillian Lance, 2 for Sydney Kaiser, 6 for Anna Humphreys, 8 for Carly Bartell, 6 for Abby Proctor as well, and 28 for Kendall Bruggen tonight.
Not too shabby.
No, a monster effort for Kendall. We're going to take a break. We're going to be back with the start of our second game of the night, the Hesston Swathler boys versus the Smoky Valley boys. More to be continued here on the